Another way to think about this is to think of it as an expression of mind, an expression from heart, and an expression from your spirit, all on the same topic. Now, remember, like we tend to denigrate ego, but remember that mind is an aspect of God, right? So mind here, an expression of mind can refer to higher mind, like higher consciousness, right? The mind of God. What would the mind of God have to say to me about service? And that might be very different than what the heart, my own heart, might have to say about service, or my spirit might have to say about service. So what does my higher mind have to say about this topic? What does my heart, my elevated heart, have to say about this topic? And what does my spirit, maybe my higher self, maybe that's where your higher self resides in this framework, right? So, the other thing to say is that ego is not something that we should necessarily denigrate, right? Negative ego, certainly, right? But ego, positive ego is tremendously helpful and is important for navigating life, right? We need ego. It helps us to organize and structure and stay safe and be effective in physicality, right? So whether you pick mind as in ego mind or mind as in higher mind, either way, an expression of mind is very valid and very valuable and might offer you an important piece of the puzzle for you around this topic. So then an expression of heart, well, you aren't going to come to this through your mind, right? And that's sort of almost simplistic to say, but it needs to be said. Like you will not attain to the heart and the messages of the heart through the mind. So you might need to, sit quietly and really calm your mind through meditation, through some breathing practices, following your breath, some concentration in order to get the mind to calm and to quiet. And then when your mind is quiet, then turn your attention and tune in to the heart center, right? Tune in, really open your chakras, make sure the energy is really flowing from the heavens down into the earth, and really tune into the heart center and really come into union with the heart, come into a relationship with the heart, and then ask, what do you have to tell me about this topic? And then let yourself receive some message from the heart. Now, another way to connect with a message from heart, maybe we could conceive of this as sort of higher heart, the way we think of higher mind, right, would be to pick a god or a goddess who is very heart-centered in your experience, in your practice, and then ask them, what would you advise for me on this topic? Right? If love is one of your topics, then mind might have something very different to say to you about it than heart. And a goddess that is heart-centered would probably have some very interesting things to say to you about the journey of love. So that's another way that you might be able to access a potent message from heart, right? And then for spirit, well, obviously you might connect with your higher self, right? And what would your higher self offer you on this topic?